Over the years, I've heard musicians complain about E sharp, F flat, B sharp, and C flat. This is because E sharp is essentially the same note as F. So why not just call it an F? Call a spade a spade. I'd like to explain why it is better in the long run to make the effort to reprogram your brain to think of an E sharp as an E sharp and not to translate the E sharp to an F. If you haven't seen too many E sharps, it's easier to think F because it matches the F fingering on the instrument that you learned a long time ago. As a saxophonist, I relearned certain fingerings so I could do this. It was worth it because it gave me a slightly deeper understanding of the music I play. First, I'd like to show you why E sharp, F flat, B sharp, and C flat even exist. I'm going to go to use the piano now. This is the piano keyboard. As you can see, I've labeled the natural notes on the white keys in case you're not familiar with the piano layout. I use the piano keyboard for theory because it is the most visual and universal instrument. You likely know that there are 7 letters of the musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, yet there are 12 pitches in an octave. An octave is between C and C. The lettered pitches, or natural notes, are labeled on the white keys. I'm going to count the number of notes between C and C to show you the 12 pitches. I won't be including the top C in the count because I've already counted the low C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 half steps. So now we need to name the black keys somehow. The black keys are the sharps and flats. They are in between most of the white keys and they each have 2 names. Actually, they have more than 2 names, but that's another story. I'll use the black key between the C and the D as an example. If you think of this pitch as being higher than C, then it is called a C sharp. If you think of this pitch as being lower than D, then it is called a D flat. But essentially, a C sharp and a D flat are the same sound. This is what sharps and flats do to a pitch. A sharp raises a pitch by a half step and a flat lowers a pitch by a half step. What is a half step? A half step is the smallest distance between each note in a standard Western music. So the distance between C and C sharp is a half step. Look at the pair B and C and the pair E and F. Notice that there is no black key in between them. Therefore, there is only a half step between these 2 pairs of notes. If we raise the pitch E a half step to E sharp, it becomes the same sound as an F, but we call it an E sharp. Now, I'll go through the other 3 situations just to cover everything. If the pitch F is lowered a half step to F flat, it becomes the same sound as an E, but we call it an F flat. If the pitch B is raised a half step to B sharp, it becomes the same sound as a C, but we call it a B sharp. If the pitch C is lowered a half step to C flat, it becomes the same sound as a B, but we call it a C flat. So I've covered why E sharp, F flat, B sharp, and C flat exist. Now I want to show you 2 examples of why you should think of them according to their proper names. One way you will encounter these notes is as an accidental in a melody. An accidental is a pitch that occurs outside of the key signature. Let's pretend you're playing a piece in the key of D. We have F sharp and C sharp in the key signature, and you encounter this figure. So it sounds like this. Or if you're swinging it. So you play it and you get mad after you realize the E sharp is really an F. And you say, why did they not just write an F? Two reasons. Reason one, the E sharp reduces the number of accidentals on the page and makes it look cleaner. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to rewrite this over here, but I'm going to use an F natural instead. So because I use an F natural, I have to change this back to an F sharp. So I'll just finish my stems and beams. The E sharp reduces the number of accidentals on the page and makes it look cleaner. With an F natural, the following F needs an extra sharp symbol to return it to F sharp. Therefore, you can see that the less information that is on the page, the better it is for the player. Reason two, with E sharp, the music actually looks like it's going down and then back up again because the note head moves to the next space. Visually, the F natural makes the music look like the sound is staying the same. The E sharp gives a more visual cue as to the contour of the melody. So here the melody kind of looks like it's going like this, where here the melody looks like it's just going in a straight line. You will also encounter these notes as they occur in a key signature. Let's think of the key of F sharp major, which has 6 sharps in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's our E sharp. I wrote the F major scale in accidentals down here so you can see each note. For argument's sake, let's think of the E sharp as an F natural. I'm going to rewrite this as an F natural. Now we have, the problem is that we have two different notes with the same letter name. So this makes it hard for you when you're trying to learn your scales because it's better to think of it as an E sharp. I'm going to write out a C major scale doing the same kind of thing that we did up here. So C, D, E, F, G, whoops, that doesn't look like a very good G. G, A. Now, instead of B, I'm going to write it as a C flat. It's ridiculous, right? Why would you do that? So you're breaking out the continuity of the shape of the scale. So it's much better to write this as an E sharp. Go away. When I was learning the F sharp major scale on the saxophone, the E sharp confused me because my fingers knew that note as an F. So I decided to retrain my mind to think of the F as an E sharp. It wasn't easy and it took me a long time. But at that time, I also felt comfortable with the A flat being the same as a G sharp because I'd seen them more often. So I believed I could eventually learn E sharp, F flat, B sharp, and C flat with their proper names. I was right about that much, and I think it was worth it for me in the long run. I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to support my channel. Maybe suggest some ideas for topics in the comments. Thank you very much.